Divine cosmic love and blissful alignment to you. Coming to you from a different location today. I wanted to do something different and bring this message to you. I know it's been a, a week, a couple of weeks maybe. And my grandmother was, I don't want to say successfully laid to rest. Um, it was beautiful. The pictures were nice. I wasn't there obviously, but my family made me feel like I was there, and I'm so grateful for that. They did a wonderful job. Excuse me. So I'm going to try and do this quickly because literally by the ocean. But I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're standing strong. I don't know about you, but the last couple of weeks of August was very, intense. Um, Testing, so much to say, to see how we're going to react. How will you continue on your new journey? Will you continue on your new adventure? Or will you crumble? And I was so grateful to God because He showed me that, yeah, we're still on. When you're in a relationship and you're trying to figure out, like, so where do we stand? Yeah, we're still on, just because something distressing has happened, or something that will kind of can cause you to get stuck. This life that we live is continuous testings, and some tests are harder than others, and some people know their tests and they've mastered them, and that's why they are in the positions that they're in currently. So during those couple of days, or I wasn't really feeling it, to be honest. I wasn't feeling like reading. I wasn't feeling, I was still praying, I was still hoping, but I didn't really touch my book because I just kept busy avoiding emotions, so to speak. But I remember towards the end of this weekend, once she was laid to rest, God showed me the book of Jonah again. So I was like, oh man, we got to get back to it. We got to get back into it. And, like, God is still there through it all. Sometimes we like to think that maybe God is forsaking us, or He's giving us more and more tests. But we must always remember it's to always make us grow, and it's to always to build us up. So the book that I was read to is the book of Jeremiah 29, which is a letter to the exiles. And Jeremiah wrote to the people while they were being held captive in Babylon. And the message that the people of Judah were being given by Jeremiah was not something that you want to hear. You don't want to hear that you're going to stay. Plan to stay, literally. It's in the book. It says, build homes, plan to stay, plant gardens, eat the food they produce, marry and have children, find spouses for the children, so that you may have grandchildren. So the people obviously didn't like this message, and you could also almost say they hated Jeremiah for it, but Jeremiah had to speak the truth. Sometimes the truth hurts. We hear that phrase all the time. But when we hear the truth, we have to take into account that it is the truth and move accordingly. So during troubled times, we have to go on living. In unpleasant, distressing situations, we must be resilient. I'm reading from what I wrote down, some notes, and adjust and keep moving. And I had to do that. I had to keep on moving. I would have loved to be there with my family members, but it wasn't possible at this time. I did what I could do, and I left it to God, and adjusted, and keep moving, right? So, and especially during these times, it's so hard to pray because you don't know what to pray for. You want to lament, you want to question, you want to be upset. God tells us to keep praying, especially during these hard times, for everybody out there at this time. I hope you're praying. I hope you're praying for your administration, even though, we may not agree with half the things that they're doing right now. You keep praying. You know, whatever situation that you're in, you keep praying. Those are the times that we need to pray the most. Um, we mustn't let fear and uncertainty stop us. This is just a constant reminder. Remind yourself, don't be afraid. Uncertainty is uncertainty, but God will see you through. Let me tell you that God has seen me through this time of distress, so to speak, emotional. I can't believe she was 106 years old. That's wild. I was like, man, that means my chances of living are so long. I was like, dang, just get comfortable. I mean, just saying, right? So just remember that pain and suffering are inevitable, right? And you're going to go through that regardless. It's like the package deal that we all signed up for. Some pain and suffering, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but God will see you to the end. God will see you through it, and God will see you to it, right? As long as God, who knows our future, directs our agendas and goes with us, we will fulfill his mission. This does not mean we will be spared pain, suffering, or hardship. So it's a part of the world we live in. All you got to do these days is just throw a rock and see all kinds of atrocities and sin that's people are in bondage. Like, it's a lot. It can be overwhelming, but you must remember God. You must keep your focus on God and stay on God and try to as best as you possibly can. This video was just to encourage you to keep going as I am. Go to places that give you peace. Go to places that restore you. Be with people that restore you. People that have your best interests. Don't go to people who are there to hurt you. People who are there to take from you. If you know, move accordingly, right? So I just want everyone to remember that God's love and promises arrive just in time. There were times I was questioning whether I should give to a certain cause or buy food or, those type of juggling questions. And let me tell you, God is a good God. God is a mighty God. And he showed up just in time every time through people who encouraged me to keep going, through people who were still there by my side. And I thank everyone for their love and support, however little, however you saw fit to support me and my family at this time. I saw God's love. I saw God move. And I'm here to tell everybody that God is alive and well, and God loves us. And there's no distance or time or space that can keep you from his love. The last one is we have to find joy in endurance. I put my book up. Try and find joy in enduring slander, pain, all the uncomfortable things. You have to find some type of joy in them in order to keep pushing through. It's going to help you push through. But ultimately, stay in prayer. God is always there for you. He'll always use the right people for you to move you where you need to go. And no amount of outside projections and fears and people being used by the dark one will take you away from his love. It's just impossible. Once you decide that you are standing by God and you are with him, let me tell you, God will move heaven and earth for you, literally, to let you know that you are special, that you are loved. And while I read the book of Jonah on Sunday, actually, that's the first time I opened the Bible again, just to be like, all right, God, now that this is done, and, we've buried my grandmother and, say my piece. I mean, I was looking for some type of encouragement. I was looking for a good message. And the first book I opened was Jonah. But this time, I read the little notes that are usually underneath the verses, subnotes. And it was really interesting to see the writer's point of view that sometimes we may be in situations and places where it's hopeless or people are deemed godless, or they don't deserve God's favor. But that's not right. It's unfair to deny others God's love, God's favor, um, because of the love and favor that He has bestowed upon us. If we are able to exemplify that, even in the least bit, to help other people to see God, we have to do it. I can't just sit still. I couldn't just go into hiding and depression and sadness and, oh, why me? I had to get out of that. I had to ask God to help me through, um, through laughter, through, messages, little things here and there, encouragement, to be where I'm at. And this morning, as I was trying to think, I was like, what do I do? Because I never just come up with these things. God has to actually show me and point to me to certain things. And as I was sitting in traffic this morning, taking my children to school, it seemed like everybody was alive. People were bumping their music and whatever people were doing to get ready to go to work. And there was this lady who was, I heard some gospels, Jesus gospel songs, and she was bumping it. And as the car pulled up, this lady had a whole cigarette in her mouth. And my first thought was, that's right. It don't matter where you are. It don't matter what you're going through. It gave me hope. It was like a symbol of hope, that you still have to remain hopeful. All these things that we're told from the outside that should decide who we are. Of course, it's not healthy for you. Of course, you can ask God to help you move out of that situation. But it showed me hope, that despite anything that's going on with you, like, you still have God, you're still clinging on to God. So I would advise you to cling on to God. Not advise you, I would just encourage you, because I am in no position to advise anyone. But like I said, I'm here to share my life and the things that are happening to me through my experience with God. That's what I've been called to do. I'm not here to give you lies and false stories and situations that do not exist, but what it really is for me. This is my truth. So I would encourage you to just keep clinging on to God, whatever it is that you're doing. And it was good to see. It seemed like every person that was bumping their music was motivating themselves through the power of God, whether it was rap, it was hit, whatever it was. The person in front of me, the person on my side, there was this guy in a big truck, and it seemed like everyone was calling on God and just talking to God in their own way. So don't judge others for how they connect with God and how they, commune with the Holy Spirit. If it's something that you can learn and you can take from it, please do. Add it to you. Help yourself. Help another person. Anyways, thank you so much for your time. Divine cosmic love and blissful alignments to you always. Align yourself always. Realign yourself. Recalibrate, to be able to be in a position where you can hear from God and know what to do next. Don't lose hope. Don't live in fear. Don't be angry. Don't be bitter. These are anchors to the dark one. Don't do that. Fight it as much as you can. It's not going to mean that you will not face these things, but through the power of Christ, we can always overcome. I thank you so much for your time. Y'all have a wonderful day. And until next time, bye.